MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 7, Part 2. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by the MacVoices 2025 Holiday Gift Guide shows. Find gift ideas, both tech and non-tech, that you would like to give or get at macvoices.com/holiday gift guide or by searching for 2025 MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide on Flipboard. All right, that puts us halfway through. So we're going to go back to Brittany for the start of round 3.
And be sure you won't regret it. A long time ago, I bought a really fancy blood pressure monitor so that it would connect to Bluetooth, because I know what I'm never going to do is actually write it down in the health app. I need it to sync automatically. And it stopped working really quickly. And it turns out you just add a little time and things get way cheaper. So my pick is a $35 blood pressure monitor from Omron, which is a good brand. And I have the link for the specific one. Some people do need to be careful picking out a blood pressure monitor. Something I did not know a while ago was that if you have certain health conditions, you can't use just any blood pressure monitor. It has to be validated for your conditions, including pregnancy. So, which is a condition where you have to monitor your blood pressure. So, this is one that was validated for more conditions. And so I bought a more expensive one and returned it and bought a cheaper one that worked better. This one's only for one person. Some of them have extra people, like the old one that was more expensive, but it was also $35.
Wow.
So it's not exciting. It's not fancy, but it tracks my blood pressure and automatically puts it in the health app. So I don't have to.
So that's really interesting from so many different standpoints. The idea that we'll put it in your health app so you don't have to write it down. The cost is amazing, and yeah, I'm going to go check this out. Okay, nice. Very nice.
It's the 3 series. I have a link for you.
Okay, thank you. Great. All right, Mike, round 3.
Well, now we're getting to the fun stuff, Chuck. This is something I think at least 2/3 of us are going to really enjoy, and I hope folks watching this enjoy as well. This is, are you ready? Are you ready? This is this is a Lego Gingerbread at. Okay. Yes, at.
And you didn't even know I was going to be here, Mike.
Not AT. This is an at. This is a Lego Gingerbread at. Just in time for the holidays, with gingerbread house type decorations all over it, including candy canes. Look at the little blaster. Whoop, the little blasters are candy canes on it. And it includes a gingerbread Darth Vader right there. A gingerbread Darth Vader. And he even has icing trim on his cape, which is just amazing. So the legs on this move, as you would hope the legs would move on an at. They're completely posable. You can open the cockpit, and you can flip up the sides to see the interior. Look at this. Look at this gorgeous piece of Lego that you can build just for yourself. Isn't that amazing? Once you flip open the side of it, here's where it gets really cool. Once you flip open the side of it, there is a seat by a fireplace where you can set little Lego Darth Vader. There's a little table, there's a cup, there's cookie and candy cane decorations inside the at. There's stockings hanging on the wall and a little stack of gifts. Because, even the Empire has to celebrate the holidays. $59.99. $59.99. Well worth it.
Did you know that it's out of stock at the Lego store?
Oh, it's out of stock right now because everyone like me bought it. But it's on back order, and Lego will fulfill those orders. It's just on back order. It's not completely out of stock. They will get more in, and definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Recently added to my, now let's see if Jeff is listening, he'll recognize this, but it's definitely something I was very happy to add to my Lego Wall of Shame. My Lego Wall of Shame is the Lego kits I have yet to build, but purchased, but not yet built. Now I know that someone has already mentioned the new Lego set for our Star Trek fan that's sitting here. I know someone's already mentioned that. It is gorgeous. I was going to mention it, but I thought this would be a better choice for the holidays. So that's my third pick, Chuck. The Lego Gingerbread AT-AT with Gingerbread Darth Vader.
And just to be clear, this is not made out of gingerbread, so you can't eat it.
Would you
While
want to
in
eat
theory
it if you
you
paid
probably
$70 for it or $60?
I just bringing it up, Britt, just to make sure everybody understands that no, this is not something you're going to, assemble and then eat. So
I officially don't. I officially don't like mixing Christmas and Star Wars because I think they celebrate their own set of holidays. But it's Lego, so you have a little bit of leeway. And also, my spouse, who is obsessed with AT-ATs, used to make gingerbread houses and has made a gingerbread AT-AT before. Which is why I immediately looked it up to see if I could get it.
Well, just for Brittany, this is not a pick. This is not a pick, but you may see it on my shelf back there. It's right there. It's right there on my shelf. But here's the box for it.
Oh, you've got your Life Day one?
Well, no, it's not. Actually, it's a Millennium Falcon holiday diorama.
Oh.
So this has Ray and Finn and Chewbacca and a Porg and BB-8 in it. But no, it's not the Life Day. Yeah. But yeah, that's...
Are you sure? Because it looks like the Life Day Lego.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
Show.
Actually, it looks like the holiday special from the 70s, but just with newer characters.
Well, that one had some references to the original one. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
All right. I didn't know this was going to turn into a Star Wars show, but
at least I got the first Star Wars pick.
Chuck.
Oh, good. When I put these two together,
my fourth pick.
I should have known. So my third round pick is going to be sort of a combination pick. One of the things that I love when I'm not listening to music or podcasts is I love audiobooks. And so I usually around this time of year, if nobody else has picked it, I always encourage an Audible subscription because they make getting audiobooks affordable because audiobooks are not inexpensive. And if you sign up for, depending on which plan you sign up for, you pay so much a month, you get so many, guaranteed downloads for that. They also, Audible's done a great job of creating sort of a free library that you have access to. And it's not just like classic stuff, that you probably read in high school. It's some really, really great, both original content and third-party content. So the Audible pick is what I'm recommending, but I'm going to recommend a book along with it because when you sign up for Audible, you usually get one free book. And that book is Apple in China, The Capture of the World's Greatest Company by Patrick McGee. I've read a lot of Apple books, Apple-related books, and I've heard most of the stories. There's stuff in this book I have never heard because it takes on Apple's history from the supply side, the supply chain angle. And it is fascinating about Apple's approach to being able to manufacture in volume and in quality the tech that they obviously deliver, how China, the China companies responded to that, and the benefits that have come to both companies, and frankly, some of the geopolitical issues that the whole thing has created. So I think if you're an Apple fan and you have any interest in the business side of it, this is great. If you are just a casual Apple fan, there's some really great things in here too. Stories about Johnny Ive and some of his predilections and how they drove manufacturing and relationships with certain Chinese companies. It just is well worth the time. And the narrator does a great job. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, or have enjoyed it. I'm done with it, finished it. And I can't recommend it enough. If you like to read it. If you like audiobooks, listen to it. But so that's why I say it's a double pick. Yes, it can go along with an Audible subscription, but you can also get a hardcover version as well and enjoy that. But it is well worth your time if, again, you are an Apple fan or you just want to understand kind of how we got to where we are in the Apple-China-US relationship. So
I love that. Those kind of books are my jam. One of the earliest books I read about Apple is John Scully's Odyssey. And it was interesting to just kind of see it all from his perspective. It was just one of those whims I picked up off a bargain table at a bookstore, and I thoroughly dug it. And that whole shelf underneath the Star Wars diorama Lego set that I have is just filled with those kind of books on Apple and other tech company histories. Some of it we've lived through, and some of it we are living through. But this one sounds like one I definitely want to add to that shelf.
Mike, I think you will, simply because there's so much that unless you were interested in how Apple was doing what it was doing or what it did, it never made the news because it didn't have to do with the next version of the OS or the drama of the boardroom or anything like that. I mean, yeah, there are pieces in that fit into the story, but this is a whole different take on it that I have never heard a lot of these stories. And so get ready to increase your Apple knowledge. You're going to have a good time with it.
Awesome.
Okay, well, we're at round 4. And I know, Brittany, you have a bit of a heart out, so I want to make sure that we get to your round 4 and then also give you a chance to tell people where they can find you. But first, business first, what's round 4?
So if you have somebody in your life who is perhaps expecting, I have an app recommendation. It's Mango Baby. It's for tracking all of the newborn things, when they ate, how long they ate for, how much. All the pediatricians are going to ask you, so having the data somewhere is useful. It's a nerd-friendly app. It always has the latest features, works with Siri, full shortcut support, which is great because you often have no hands available, so voice interaction is really nice. You can launch something like vocally with the HomePod. It has widgets on the lock screen and on your home screen, so you can see like last feedings. Oh, that's why they're fussy. It's because they're hungry. Because when you're sleep deprived, you can't keep track of these things yourself very easily. You need to externalize it. Live activities for like how long a feeding's been going on. Anyway, it's a nerd's baby app. It's pretty user friendly if you don't want to use those features, but also if you buy one, you can have as many people share it who have iPhones as you want. So I had my mom on, my mother-in-law on, all that kind of stuff. So it's sort of a silly small one that may not apply to a lot of people, but for people it does. I don't know, sometimes it's nice to have a recommendation. And I look forward to using it again next year.
Oh.
Wow. Congratulations.
We have an announcement. Congratulations. That's great.
Yeah, I saved that one last for a reason.
That's great. That's great. Should we ask any details, or should we just say we may not see you at MacStock for a good reason this year?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Congratulations.
May-ish.
That's great, Britt. May-ish. Cool.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
Mike and I are both like, did we just hear what we think we heard?
Yeah, there was a little pause there.
Yeah, on both our parts. Yeah, it's like, 1 + 1 = 2. Yes. Oh,
Well,
that's
Janet will
funny.
be excited to hear that too. I'm going to make sure to let her know when I get upstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thanks.
Britt, again, I know you have a heart out, but before you tell folks where they can find you, I want to tell you that I've run across your videos constantly on LinkedIn, and you are doing an amazing job. You are really killing it with the videos. So please keep that
thank
up,
you.
because I know your life is about to get busier yet again. But so when you're not here picking gifts, and stunning Mike and I, where can folks find you?
You can find most of the things I do at conquer.consulting. I do a lot of productivity, tech, and ADHD support. I have a community for that. So you can find most of those things around there. If you want to keep apprised of things, I have a newsletter, sign up, that type of thing. And ADD Liberator on a lot of the socials.
Great. Thanks so much, Britt. Stick around as long as you can, or you're welcome to bow out whenever it suits you.
Should probably
but
get
I
ready for the
appreciate-
appointment. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, Mike. So now it's just you and me to finish out this gift guide, and this is round 4. So what are you going to hit me with? And you have already given me a little bit of a warning.
Well, this is something I'm super excited to show you, Chuck, because I actually purchased this for last year's gift guide, which unfortunately I didn't make it on, but this was at the ready. So I will say this is the 2025 edition of what I'm about to show you. But the reason I'm excited to show this to you, Chuck, is because it combines 2 of your great loves in life, and one of them is not golf. This combines Star Trek with cats. This is the Star Trek. Oh, let's see if you can see it. The Star Trek Cats calendar. The Star Trek Cats of the USS Enterprise calendar. Now, this is for 2025, but I did make sure there is a 2026 edition of this. So obviously the images that I can show you in this are different, but look at that. Look at that Kirk and Gorn.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Oh my
That is
God!
amazing.
It's actually wearing the shirt. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah. So now the 2025 calendar featured scenes, which, calendars always have them on the back here, and I'm just going to go, show them real quick. These are all scenes from both the original series and Next Generation. By the way, I should point out the calendars combine both of those series in it. But some of the scenes that were in 2025 were Spock and Kirk from on Earth, from the City on the Edge of Forever. We have the Next Generation poker scene in it. There's Picard requesting Earl Grey hot, or maybe it's catnip tea hot. I'm not sure. And of course, as I showed you, the Kirk and Gorn fight scene. But with 2025 reaching its end, folks will probably want to get the 2026 version of the calendar. And the 2026 version of the calendar features things like Scotty, portrayed by a Scottish fold breed cat, the infamous fight scene between Spock and Kirk from Amok Time, the bridge crew of the Enterprise D, and even an Orion slave girl scene from the original series, and so many more. I mean, this is right up your alley, Chuck. Star Trek and cats. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. So the Star Trek Cats calendar is $15.99. You can get it right now. I did find it on Amazon. The 2026 version of it is on Amazon right now. It's really, I mean, yeah, there's a little tongue-in-cheek to it, obviously, but it's quite a loving homage to the original series and to the Next Generation. It's officially licensed Star Trek merchandise, And the illustrations are by artist Jay Parks. Now, what's interesting about that is kind of an unofficial pick, Chuck, is that there is a Star Trek Cats, the book, also by Jay Parks. And it's just filled with illustrations exactly like this. And some of the illustrations that are in the book include, and I don't have the book, I apologize, but we've got the pilot episode, the cage, the man trap, Space Seed, the City on the Edge of Forever, Amok Time, the Trouble with Tribbles, got that in there, the Immunity Syndrome, A Private Little War, just tons of scenes, all recreated, all lovingly recreated, with cats in place of the original actors. And as I was looking up the Star Trek Cats book, I saw that there was a Star Trek The Next Generation Cats book too. So not only can you, adorn your wall with the Star Trek Cats calendar, but you can also line your bookshelves with 2 Star Trek Cats books as well. So the Star Trek Cats book is currently on Amazon for $16.95. The calendar is $15.99, and I think it would make a wonderful, wonderful Christmas gift for the Star Trek lover in your life. We did a couple Star Wars already, Chuck, but I had to bring Star Trek in it too.
Well, I'm glad you brought Star Trek. The whole cats thing, I don't know. There are a lot of people that are into it, and so hey, more power to you. Because of course, let's keep in mind, folks, that this is just the man who just showed you a gingerbread Darth Vader. So,
but,
take it for yeah.
Cats,
Mm-hmm.
Cats,
yeah.
Cats.
And the kind of the disturbing thing is that even though you're just showing me thumbnails really quickly, I think I can identify pretty much every scene or every, that I just saw, so the lovingly recreated, absolutely.
It really is. It really is. Jay Parks does an amazing job with these illustrations, and I was stunned when I got it last year, and I was excited to show it, and I was just sad I couldn't make it on the show. So I've been sitting on this for 12 months, waiting to show you the Star Trek Cats calendar for the MacVoices Gift Guide. Well, of course, it's been on my wall the whole time.
Well, I'm certainly glad you got it out of your system.
Oh, just wait till next year.
Oh, good. Okay, there we go. Well, this might be Mike's last year on the gift guide. We'll see.
Well,
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Well, I'm afraid I can't compete with that. But and this, especially with Mike here, this may be a little bit of a controversial pick. But I'm going to encourage you to get involved with, test out, spend time with, work with one of the large language models. I don't really care which one. My one of choice for a lot of reasons was ChatGPT, and still is. It seems like every 10 minutes, the prevailing wisdom is this is number one, this is number two. At the number one spot has been ChatGPT for a little while. I think it was even Grok. Right now it seems to be Gemini from Google. Bottom line is, starting to work with these things is really, really critical. If you're anywhere other than 10 minutes from retirement, because this is something that is going to affect your world. And I really do believe that the best way to experience it, learn about it, and appreciate how much it's remaking our world is to just get involved with it, play with it. I know that you're going to say, well, I don't really have a need for it. What would I do with it? Anything that you would call up and ask a friend, ask one of the large language models and see what comes back. And I'm not talking about love life problems. I'm talking about, should I buy the car A or car B? What are the advantages? And I've got car on the brain for reasons that Mike knows about today. But, is it better to buy a white car or a red car or a green car or a blue car? Things like that, you'll be surprised at what it will come back with. If you want to do comparisons, maybe of some products that we've talked about here on the gift guide, ask it to compare the benefits of Brittany's blood pressure cuff with maybe one you were looking at, and it will go through and do a great job. The one big piece of wisdom I will share with you, and it's already been shared by a lot of folks who advocate large language models, if you're going to rely on that data, the last thing you put in your prompt is, are you sure? Because once in a while, it will give you questionable data. But at the very least, it organizes things. It can create tables. And yes, okay, so you can create an image of a whale with, a pork pie hat. But use it for something productive. Use it for something that you want to learn about or know about. We've talked about it here on MacVoices a lot. We've talked about it on the live show a lot. And I just still run into people that, well, it's not for me. Well, what would I do with it? Oh, I really don't need it. And if you don't now, I'm afraid you're going to at one point or another, or you're not going to be able to be competitive in whatever areas you wish to be competitive in. Don't mean to get preachy about it, but I feel that strongly about it. I think I think there is an advantage to spending a little money, especially with something like ChatGPT, getting a subscription to one, because there are benefits that do come with the paid versions. So consider it an investment in education, if nothing else, because you can always stop the subscription. Mike, I know you're not necessarily a big large language model fan, but that's why it was ironic that when I had this on the list that, it came up in this gift guide. But that's the way I feel. That's my experience. Do you have counter opinions?
No, I don't have any counter opinions at all on that. My only additional advice would be don't blindly trust the information you're given. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake I see people make, is they turn to these AI models and they ask it a question and say, well, that's the answer. And then they move on without instead treating it like the tool that it is. It shouldn't be treated like a well-researched and thought put into it encyclopedia of information. Instead, it's gathering knowledge, if you will, from all across the internet, and sometimes that knowledge is just incorrect. And you always want to double check the information that you are being given. And to say, "Are you sure?" is good, but then you're asking the model that just gave you the answer if it's sure. So I would use it as a source of information, and I would use it as a tool to help perhaps gather thoughts and maybe organize information, or to use it as kind of a sounding board. But I certainly wouldn't use it as a tool to generate content and say, well, that's it, and move on. And I think that's, my only point on it. My experience with Gemini is that its inability to answer basic support questions through Google's support interface, the stupidity of it rivals only that of old Siri. So I don't know. What I've experienced of Gemini so far is not very positive results, but I have had positive results with ChatGPT and some of the others. So,
and I want to endorse everything Mike just said. He used one word I should have used. It is a tool. It is not the answer to everything. So, Mike, I'm right there with you. I will say this, that when I've come across something where it gave me objectively wrong information that I knew was wrong, and I ask it, "Are you sure?" It comes back and calls itself out. It has not defended itself once.
Well, good for it. Awesome.
I realize that that's kind of damning with faint praise of some kind, but usually it says, "Oh yeah, you're right," and it gives me a corrected answer, and then I ask for validation on that, and it gives it to me. And so far in the cases I've had like that, once I've gone out and checked it myself, it's right. So at the very least, get in there and play with it.
So it's a little like asking the small child with chocolate all over their face if they stole the candy bar off the counter and they say no. And then you ask them again and they say, well, maybe.
Yeah, that's an interesting analogy. I wouldn't have gone with that one, but I'll take that. Yeah. But at the very least, and again, one other thing you said that was interesting to me in response, to help organize information. I mean, it is phenomenal at saying, would you please compare this to that and make it a table?
Yeah.
And maybe even, I want to make sure you include these 5 things plus anything else you think should be there. And it will spit out a table that will help you in your decision making. No question. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like I said, as a sounding board too. I guess we're going down a little rat hole in our gift guide that I didn't intend to take you down. But yeah, I'll often write something. And I like to think I'm an, pretty okay writer, but I'll often write something, but feel as if I'm perhaps reusing the same phraseology over and over again. And so I'll take that phrase and I'll throw it into ChatGPT and say, can you help me refine this? Or can you help me come up with a different way of saying the same thing? And then rather than use what it spits out at me, because it'll often spit out 2, 3, 5, 10 different variations, especially if I ask it for that many. But I'll take snippets of what it gives me and try to then reincorporate it into my original writing. So again, like a tool, rather than just taking what it says at face value and copying and pasting it into what I'm writing, I'll take some of the turns of phrase that it comes up with and incorporate them, or maybe even variations of what it comes up with instead. So that's kind of how I've traditionally used it, either for organizing thoughts, for helping refine what I want to say, or just coming up with brand new ways of saying things, because sometimes I get stuck in a rut and I tend to say similar things in similar ways over and over again. So it's a good way to just kind of be that sounding board that you don't always have a human near you to be that. So you turn to the machine instead.
So I'd like to introduce you to Mike Potter, poster boy.
The machine is God.
Well, no, but you are now the poster boy for exactly what I'm talking about, because you've experimented. You found out what you didn't like about it. You found out, though, what you could use it for or what you did like about it. And you found a way to turn it to your benefit. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is experiment, because otherwise you're not going to, how do you judge something when you never put your hands on it? So,
right.
Yeah. And we did go down a rat hole here, but I think it's so important, the place we are in time and technology for more people to get involved with this, because it's going to have to be regulated. It's going to affect jobs. It's going to affect employment. It is already affecting society. So many things, and you need to be a participant rather than sitting on the sidelines, an informed participant. All right. Well, that turned really deep real quick, Mike. Yeah. So when you're not here, first of all, I want to say happy holidays and thank you for being here. It's always a blast. I'm sorry that just like this year, there are a couple people that are just not going to make it to the gift guide because we just couldn't put the schedules together and we ran out of holiday time. But there he goes. Yes, Mr. Holiday himself. Where can folks find you, Mike, once you get back from the North Pole?
Here, I'll turn off the snow, Chuck. There we go. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, happy holidays to the entire MacVoices viewing and listening audience. This is amazing. I'm so glad you had me on. And sorry I missed last year, but so thrilled to be back this year with Star Trek Cat's Calendar. Folks can I crack myself up. Folks can find me at formaceyesonly.com. We do record our shows now live the second and fourth Saturday of every month. That's the schedule we try to stick with. And those, of course, are edited down and released as the audio show in all the usual podcast catching parts of the internets. But for MacEyesOnly.com. And I just got out the first newsletter this week for the 10th anniversary of MacStock. 2026 will be MacStock 10. And yeah, we just put out our first call for presenters. So if anyone is interested in speaking at MacStock, MacStockConferenceandExpo.com, stop by, fill out the Speak at MacStock form, and let me know what you'd like to talk about. But we have some exciting announcements coming up for MacStock in January, and ticket sales will be starting soon. And I'm so looking forward to MacStock 10 in 2026. So MacStockConference.com or MacStockConferenceandExpo.com. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Mike. And that's sort of a little holiday present to me, because that means that you're going to be back here to talk about MacStock. It means that folks can look forward to another Road to MacStock series as we talk to the presenters that you sign up. And it's been amazing. In fact, some of the newest members of this gift guide this year came directly from me meeting them at MacStock. So it's, it's one of those really nice things that we get to all look forward to, and so you'll be hearing more about it. So, but in the meantime, Mike's got to go hang out with Gingerbread Darth Vader.
Yes.
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 There it comes again. Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices. I hope you've enjoyed the holiday gift guides. We have one more to go. Meanwhile, check out the master list on the Mac Voices website. Check out the picks from this show in this show's show notes, and in our holiday gift guide magazine on Flipboard, where you get a more visual representation of the gifts. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.